Welcome to the One-Brained Man, where we talk about comics and all that good stuff. I have tried to avoid excessive spoilers in this video, but I do talk about the background story of each comic in my top 10. Some of the comic series in the list are new, while others have been around for a while. To qualify, they just need to have published an issue in 2013. At number 10, it's The Darkness. The Darkness is a long-running series, more than 300 issues. It is set in the same universe as The Witchblade, and there are crossovers. The reason The Darkness isn't higher on the list is that I don't find the current story that compelling. If you want to take it up, I recommend going way back and buying the first issue. So let's talk about the story in the beginning. Jackie Estacado has lived the life of a violent gangster all his life. When he reaches adulthood, an ancient darkness starts to manifest itself in his life. It turns out one of Jackie's predecessors made a deal with the darkness. He became an anchor for the darkness in our world, and in return he gained some control over it. While Jackie is very powerful in darkness and shadow, his supernatural powers cannot aid him in direct sunlight. Over time, the art in The Darkness has gotten better and better, and it's great right now. I'm just hoping the story can pull me back in. At number 9, The Walking Dead. This comic is set in the same universe as the TV series, but it doesn't revolve around the same characters. The art is done in black and white. The main reason I put The Walking Dead on the list is because it's a serious commercial success. It outsells not just everything on this list, but also big titles like Batman. You can't argue with capitalism. This comic isn't my cup of tea, but if you need your Walking Dead fix and you aren't getting it from the TV series, The Walking Dead comic may be for you. At number 8, it's Crossed, Wish You Were Here. Crossed is a survival horror story. In it, 90% of the world's population is infected. The infected do horrific things to each other and to the survivors. This is one comic that's not for the kiddies. Crossed is too grotesque for me. I would not recommend it for normal folk. I, however, have to recognize the quality of the work. At number 7, it's Revival. Revival is set in an average American town where the recently departed are back from the dead, seemingly none the worse for the experience. Fearing contagion, the US government quarantines the town. What could go wrong? At number 6, I, Vampire. It's about vampires, and not the kind that sparkle. These are your more traditional vampires. The story is about Andrew Bennett, a vampire trying to hold on to his humanity. He comes into conflict with his creation and lover, Mary Seward. At number 5, it's Morbius, Living Vampire. Morbius is a spin-off of Marvel's Spider-Man. Morbius' thirst for human blood and his strength comes from a medical accident, so he isn't really a real vampire. I've always liked Morbius as a Spider-Man villain. To me, he has always been more misunderstood than evil. It looks like Marvel plans to hero him up in the series. At number 4, it's Helheim. Helheim is set in a Viking village. The protagonist is the town's leading warrior. He is killed in an attack by the undead. The town's witch raises him back from the dead to protect her. Well, after stitching him back together, mostly from his own parts. At number 3, it's Rachel Rising. Rachel wakes up, partially dead, in the shallow grave her murderer put her in. She tries to go back to her life, but things just keep getting weirder. Rachel Rising has a solid story, but it's the haunting, sometimes creepy, art that puts it in the top 3. Be advised, Rachel Rising is a black and white comic. If witches and demons keep you interested, take a look at Rachel Rising. At number 2, it's Witch Doctor Malpractice. So you're innocently experimenting with some magic, when your activities attract some horrible, otherworldly parasite that attaches itself to you. Who are you gonna call? Witch Doctor is a 6-comic series that recently ended. I really like the dark humor, and Witch Doctor has plenty of that on offer. I really recommend checking it out. And my number one pick is Bedlam. The main character in Bedlam, Fillmore, starts out a lot like the Joker, by which I mean he's completely insane, spreading madness and death wherever he goes. The difference being he isn't disfigured like the Joker, so he takes off the mask and he can blend back into society. Fillmore doesn't get caught by his version of the Dark Knight. He gets caught by eccentric, let's call him a physician. Through the use of brain surgery, he cures Fillmore's madness. So now sane, how does Fillmore deal with his crimes? Would he seek to repay the city of Bedlam for the harm he did? The artist Riley Rossmo is very, very good. The art is dirty, a little tinged with madness. It really works with the story. So I seriously recommend picking up the first issue of Bedlam and taking a look. If you have a positive or a negative comment, please leave it in the comments section below. If you want to see more of my videos, subscribe to my channel.